and I'm going to start sharing my desktop, and I'm going to show you guys a quick little presentation that is an overview of the Leading Edge Certification Program. And so, I've got to switch gears here. Okay, so can you all see the green slide?
Sure can.
Anybody not able to see it?
Yeah.
And Darren, don't look at it, just listen. So anyway, okay, just a little bit about me. And by the way, can you see me when the slide is up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I didn't know that. Okay, I'm usually using Hangouts, but I didn't know, since I hadn't done Hangouts since last fall, that you couldn't do on-air broadcasting for when you had a group bigger than 10. And they moved it over to YouTube, but to do it on YouTube, you had to download this OBS software, and I just didn't want to mess with it and knew I could do it this way. So anyway, that's why I'm using this, but I'm not quite familiar with it yet, but I will learn. Anyway, so you're all enrolled right now in Leading Edge Certification for the Online and Blended Teacher. It's a national certification program, and I am the facilitator. I took the class you're taking now in 2012, and just like you, I was a teacher, and I was at a school site when I took it. I then taught a few classes, world history, to high school students online for a while. And then I went to the district office as a TOSA, and then I'm now at the county office. And so now I'm teaching it. I had to go through, it's like a student-teacher shadowing thing for a little while. And I could teach this class, and then I've taken the other three, and I'm getting certified right now to teach my next one, which will be administrator. Anyway, the program is recognized across the country, so once you get this certification, there are many districts that actually require it if you're going to be teaching an online class or a blended learning class. Mostly it's a requirement sometimes for the online class. There is an alliance of school districts and counties and organizations across the country, and including Alameda County of Office and Q. Some of you probably are Q members. The San Bernardino County Schools, which is where we are, Santa Clara, and then there's many more. And there are some that are in other states. The certification objectives, basically the program is not designed to get you a job. It's designed to help you learn the techniques that will make your online and blended class that you teach, and your ability to teach others how to do this if you want to do that as well, productive, and you will be actually modeling the pedagogies that are in vogue and also tried and true and tested already. So, and anyway, so any questions about that aspect, about what certification is and isn't, from any of you? Just chime in. Nope. Okay. You must have read the whole online description, I guess. Anyway, expectations. This is also in your module 1 reading, but basically you can kind of count on about 6 to 8 hours every week that you'll have to do reading and activities, but you can do these at any time. I know when I took the class, my work was often after 9 p.m. at night, but you do what you have to do. And sometimes I would squeeze it in during lunch hour, and you'll all have your own ways of doing things. For some of you, it will come very easy doing the activities. Others may need support, and I want to make sure that everyone knows that if you need support, reach out to me with an email, because I will respond as soon as I possibly can, and we can actually hook up doing a session like this. I could share desktops with you. I can turn it over to you so that I can watch what you're doing. There are some times when you're using some of the tools we cover that you may need assistance. One of the things that always trips some people up is the ability to embed into a website. Maybe it might be a YouTube video, or it may be a diagram you made. And so there's a difference between putting something like that on a website and actually embedding it when you embed it, when you update it, it just automatically updates on the website as well. So anyway, we'll go over that. That will begin in module 2, so we don't need to really cover that anymore. But so time can, generally be 6 to 8 hours a week. The timeline, we have 8 weeks of work. You'll be relieved to know that if you're not finished at the end of 8 weeks, that's not going to mean that, oh gosh, you just wasted all that money. I mean, I will work with you, as long as it takes, but they do require that between a year of when you start, so today is February 13th, 2017, you have to be finished with the course by next February 13th, 2018. So we do have a year, but of course you're going to want to finish it as soon as possible. And it would be great, if everybody finished together. So any questions on that? We have 4 different programs that you can be doing. We're doing online and blended teacher, but here are all the others. Administrator, that's designed for administrators, but if you're an administrator in training and it's something you want to do soon, you can do that as well anytime. It's easier to do the activities involved, though, if you're at least in a program where you could probably, work it into an assignment you're already doing for a program like that, like through a university. Speaking of universities, are any of you on this call right now hoping to get university credit as well?
No.
Okay, I don't hear any yeses, so I'll assume that this group it's no, but oh, there is somebody. Who was that?
Megan?
Okay, Megan. Yeah, so we're going to
I also would too.
And who's that?
Pam.
Okay. So if you're interested, shoot me a message through the system, through either through email or through our system's messaging system, and I'll have a packet sent out. The way the university credit works, it's through Fresno Pacific University. I'm a teacher that I can do, I can offer credit, and but what we have to do is we have to notify Fresno Pacific to send you a packet. It's okay that it's after we started. We have to do it soon, but I mean, this is typical actually. And they will send you a packet to fill out, and then you fill out their registration packet and send them back a check. I don't know right now their tuition for the credits. It's 3 credits, but I don't know, how many or how much money it is right now for that. But you'll send them a check, and then at the close of the course, then they will send me a grade form. I'll send that in, and then you'll have your transcript credit sent to you. So that's how that works. So make sure you send me an email if you are someone who wants credit. And I will send a message out about that sometime in the next couple days. So I'm writing myself a reminder. Okay.
So can I ask you a question?
Of course. Go ahead.
This is Julie Dudar. I joined a little late. I just wanted to make sure you could hear me.
I can hear you.
Awesome.
That's it? You just wanted to know if I could hear? Good.
That's it.
Okay. I'm proud of so many of you getting in here. It's this is the first time for me as well with Skype for Business. So, hey, it worked. So, okay. So these are the programs you could do. And if you ever have any questions on what's entailed, if you're a TOSA or a district provider of any kind of professional development, the Professional Learning Leader is a really great program. I don't know about some of you, and I think many of you are TOSAs at your site in some capacity, and nobody trains you how sorry about that, to have my mic on, and I should have turned that off. But anyway, no one trains you to be a professional learning leader, but this program does it. So and it's really not necessarily all regarding online teaching. This is just in general how to be a professional learning leader, and it's wonderful. It was a wonderful program. Recommend it for anybody, even if they're not an online teacher. And then Digital Educator is more about how a regular classroom teacher incorporates digital learning into their existing curriculum, whereas what we're doing in online and blended is how to kind of flip bigger parts of your program to online. Some of you, I noticed looking through the list, are online teachers and at online schools. And a few of you are probably just trying to get yourself ready to be able to teach online. But even if you're not an online teacher, just a regular classroom teacher who tries to incorporate blending, this is for you. And so, are any of you on the call right now, online teachers right now?
Yes.
Yes, I am. This is Joni.
Oh, Joni.
This is Pam. Joni and I work together.
Oh,
And-
okay. You
And
guys,
so does Leilani.
okay, are you guys the ones down at Julian?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. We have people from all over this. We even have one person in the class. I don't know if she's in on the call because I can't see the screen right now to see who all's in here. But we have one person from Nevada in this group, and then another from Texas that might be joining us in a day or so. So it's a really a big populous group of teachers. I'm excited to see. We've got everything from kindergarten to high school too. It's great. Okay, so our certification program is based on the INACOL standards. If you haven't familiarized yourself with INACOL, you can go to inacol.org and learn what the national standards are, because of course California doesn't, and California is like many states, there are no standards yet for computer education, online education. You know where we're at. There is nothing. So it's coming though. I don't know if you're aware, but they are working on computer science standards, and I'm assuming some of this will be built into it. But guess what? They're modeling after INACOL and also after ISTE, which are both foundations for the course that I'm teaching with to your group. So it's going to be great. You're going to be really ready for whatever comes forward. Okay. When you're all finished, you'll have the skills to effectively facilitate online and blended courses and a solid understanding of how to enhance learning opportunities for all students enrolled in your courses. And what the program, though, is not, there are no step-by-step technology tutorials. However, I'm here. So if you have trouble with any of the technology, I will be here to help you, and I will walk you through it if necessary. I can do it in the evening. I can do it during the day, whatever works for you. But I'm not going to initially give you much more than a couple links on how-tos. The program itself is going to be focused on the pedagogy. And so, but we will use the Web 2.0 tools. It is not a Web 2.0 guide. And you're going to learn what Web 2.0 is. So if you don't know what that is yet, don't worry, it's coming. So, but just realize it's not training on how to use an LMS, a learning management system, which is Haiku. But I did provide, links for you to learn how to use Haiku. Word on Haiku. Haiku sold to PowerSchool last year. And so as a result of that, I'm still getting used, I may forget, but it's really supposed to be called PowerSchool now, but they haven't changed some of the naming. Even the URL at the top of your screen still has Haiku in it. But anyway, okay, we talked about the workload. There are 8 modules, and then after the 8th module, you'll have a week to work on your e-portfolio. And basically, this is the easiest part of the class, the portfolio, because what you're going to do is you're going to take your finished work that's already been vetted, scored, it's perfect by that point, and you're going to dump it onto different pages of your portfolio. And I will get you guys all set up, and you'll know exactly what to do when that comes up. There'll be a week after you finish your portfolio where at least one other peer in your class will review your portfolio, and you'll be reviewing some other person's portfolio. Everybody gets a chance. And so it kind of adds up to about 10 weeks for the whole program. Some of you will get done sooner because you'll just plow through. I noticed some of you are already done with Module 1 and into Module 2 already. And that's, I know you're not into Module 2 because I haven't opened it, and we'll talk about that. But I know some of you are completely done with Module 1. Okay, the overview of what we're going to be doing this week is purely an introduction week. There's really not any pedagogy this week. It's just learning how to be in this course and how to use the tools of the course. Next week, we actually start into the different pedagogy, starting with online learning and going through, its development and the key concepts. In Module 3, we'll really dive into pedagogy specifically about online learning, and there's actually different viewpoints, and you will learn about those. In Module 4, you'll learn how to build a community when you have an online class, and what are all the tricks to, it's students in an online class need to be pulled out, and in order to interact, and there's ways to do that, and you'll be learning about some techniques you can use to build up that community, and also that will include some social networking tools that are useful as well. Module 5, this is a big deal right now because I don't know if you're aware, but I'd say about 2/3 of the districts in California have recently gotten letters from the Office of Civil Rights. It's a federal thing, telling them that they need to update their websites to be accessible. And it's not their main websites that were the problems, it were the teachers' pages. And so what you're going to learn in Module 5 about online accessibility isn't going to just be useful to you, it'll be useful to anybody you're around, and you'll be able to show other people how to make their class pages accessible for blind, hard of hearing, etc. What the Office of Civil Rights found after some lawsuits were filed is that, and I even did this, teachers are putting YouTube links and curriculum on their class pages without making sure that the linked curriculum is accessible, that there's closed captioning, that there's a transcript available, that there's alt text if somebody clicks on a picture, if it's a blind person hopping around on your page. So we're going to learn not only why all that's important, obviously we're teachers, we know why that's important, but why we have to really focus on it now. And so that's going to be a real eye-opening, but also a really good module to learn. And then in Module 6, we'll talk about assessment techniques, because assessment is a little different for an online class. And then 7 will be about policies and procedures that you will develop. It's basically all about that syllabus, but the syllabus even needs to be a little different. And then finally, we'll be closing and getting that portfolio together in Module 8. So any questions about the different modules and what we're covering from what I just said? Are you all still there? Crickets. I think you are.
Questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
No questions.
No questions. Okay.
Barbie and I have finished the leading edge certification for the digital educator, so this looks familiar.
Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah, there's a unit in there about accessibility as well. And copyright is another thing that comes up. Oh gosh, I forget which part of our course here. I don't remember offhand. I think it might be in access. No, I don't remember where it is. It's in here though. But there's some similar little pieces of modules between those two courses. Okay, so every module, now this will look familiar to you too that have been through Digital Educator. Every module has a discussion piece, a portfolio activity where you're making something that's going to go in your ending portfolio, and then there's a reflection at the end of the module. Before all of that, there's going to be some reading, and where you're going to be directed to content in the module or out to websites to read, to watch videos, and that information will be used to, drive your discussion and your activities. Modules will start on Monday, so today is the starting day of Module 1, and it will close this coming Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Now, nothing's going to, there's not going to be anybody being shot for not getting something in by 11:59 on Sunday, but if you could let me know if you kind of foresee a problem, like if you've been really sick or dealing with something or had to go to a conference, just shoot me an email so I know. And it's just important to let me know. And when you do something past the due date, if you would send me an email or a message through the system is fine, letting me know what item you did late, because I don't troll through there all the time looking to see, did somebody do that, because I would be doing it all the time, and I can't. So just let me know when you've submitted something late so I know to go back in and look for that. Okay, discussion. So you have a discussion every module, and the way the discussions work is that there's a prompt. You read the prompt after you've read all your reading and watched your videos, and you want by Thursday at 11:59 to have posted your response to the prompt in the discussion area. And so just make sure that your initial post addresses every single thing that was in the prompt, because to get full credit, you need to make sure you've hit them all. In fact, when I used to do it, and you guys that have done the Digital Educator probably did this too, I ended up just pasting the whole prompt into my post until I wrote my post, and then I'd take it out again later just to kind of be able to look at it as I was going to make sure I hit all the bullets or whatever was in the prompt. Then you do that by Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Then by Sunday, I need you to respond to at least 2 other students' prompts, and that kind of gets the discussion going. Is that a question? I can't hear. Make sure you're really close to your microphone. You know what? Type the message. I'll take my screen back and just type a message to me. Okay. Can you I'm looking at the questions real quickly for a minute. And I see that you were asking about the credits or the amount of money, and I don't know that, but I'll find out. Okay, I see a D. I see yeah, you can post things late. Oh, it's Yulon that's talking, huh? Yulon, I can't, something's wrong with your connection. If you could just type your message into the conversation on the left side of the screen and turn off your microphone, because it's actually giving feedback. Okay. Leilani, you're right. It sounds like Charlie Brown talk, yeah. So, Yulon, if you could just, you did it, good. Yeah, just turn off your microphone. Okay, I'm going to go back to the presentation. Okay. I'll address the questions later. You know what I think is happening is somebody needs to turn off their speaker. I think what might be happening, and I think it's Yulon, I think you need to turn off the speaker on your computer because it's feeding back through your microphone, and that's why it sounds so funny. Okay. So, okay, moving on. Okay. Portfolio expectations, you'll be using a variety of Web 2.0 tools. Make sure, can everybody hear me okay with that noise? I'm going to type the question. Yes, yes. Okay, so you can hear me. Okay, great. Okay, some of us are hearing some weird feedback. Okay, so the reflection, it's really important. Now on the discussion, I'm going back to the discussion for just a minute. That last bullet, we want you to kind of help carry along the conversation. So one thing I'll be looking at when you post comments about other people's posts, don't just say, yeah, or cool, or well put. Try to say something that keeps the conversation going. That's kind of what I'll be looking for. So that's a point to remember on your discussions. I'm going to show you when I get into haiku in a minute where to look for the rubrics so that you know what I'm going to be looking for to give you full credit. Okay, on the portfolio, you'll be using your tools. You'll be embedding the work from your earlier portfolio activities. each week. They are due on Sundays, and they're pretty much the biggest piece of what you do each week. So that's why you have the whole week to get it done. I will suggest tools in the course to use, but if you want to use a different tool, great. So, if you have something and you don't want to make a PowerPoint, and you don't want to make a Google slide presentation, if you want to use Sway, that's great. Just let me know if you're using something that isn't one of the suggested items, because I want to make sure that you're using a Web 2.0 tool. We'll define what those are in Module 2 so you know for sure, but it's really important that you don't go and do a lot of work and then find out you were using a tool that wasn't a Web 2.0 tool. The reflections need to show general thought and reflection, genuine thought and reflection, and all of the elements of the prompt need to be addressed. You do not have to comment on each other's reflections. You're welcome to do so, but there's absolutely no credit for doing that. It's just, that would be just to be supportive of your colleagues. The portfolio is compiled at the end of the course. There are examples. I'm going to put this presentation up on our website so that you can look at it, but here's an example of a portfolio. Now, Google came out with a new Google Sites recently, and you can also use, if you want to use Wix or something else to make your website, you're fine doing that as well. But all the portfolios have to have the different module areas, as you see on the left here, and then a page. This is the overview introduction page. This is the embedded Venn diagram. It's loading still. Hopefully it's still there. This is an old portfolio, so it may take a while. There it is. So in Module 2, you'll be making a Venn diagram that just went weird when my mail came. There it goes. Anyway, by the way, this is an example of embedding. Now, if I had just put a screenshot or a picture of the Venn diagram on this page, or this person who made this portfolio, it's not mine, it wouldn't have updated like it just did. This is embedded. Embedding is what we want you to learn how to do, so that if somebody updates this Venn diagram on the site where it exists, your web page will continually be updated with the most current version. So you're going to, on each page of your portfolio at the end, you will show your portfolio assignment and the reflection. This happens to be Module 2. But this you don't put together till the end. Some people put it together kind of as they go after they know that the activity and the reflection received full credit. Then they just start building. That way at the end, you're all done. You just have to send me the link to this. So that's kind of handy. Okay. And that, I think, is the end of the presentation. So now I'm going to jump into our haiku class. I do want to look at these questions really quick. Okay, Dee, that's okay. I know you're busy. Whoops. Thank you, Yulan. I don't know what happened, but oh, so you're still not connecting. See, I didn't know you were having trouble. So I'll post the video of this. It'll be a YouTube video when I'm all done, and then you can watch it another time. Okay. I'm just looking through these. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the reason I'm wearing a headset is because it works better to prevent audio feedback. When you don't have a headset on, the speakers feed into the microphone and then back and forth, and it can make it a difficult connection. So, okay, so I'm going to get on to our haiku page real quick here. Okay, can everybody see the haiku page now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. If one of you even lets me know, that I know it refreshed for you. Okay, so every week on Friday, I'm going to open the next module. And so when you see on my screen here these little red things, that means that these things are available for the students, you're the students, to see. If they're black, I haven't published it yet. So on Friday, I will publish Module 2 so that you have access to it. So I'll do that every Friday morning, sometime, during the morning. So want to point out a few things on the screen that are important for you to know about. Let me go into the syllabus. Well, yeah, the syllabus first. Most of what's in the syllabus I've already discussed. Again, oh, by the way, this is another example of embedding. But now you're going to see that there's two of us that teach this course. And just so you know, I'm teaching this course, but Ima Samak, she will be one of the two people that review your portfolios at the end, because 3 people have to review the portfolios. She is starting another cohort of about 20 people also today. And so we've got a huge group going through. I think it's 44 people at the moment. That's a really large cohort. And so we broke it into 2 classes. But you may see Ima come on board if I'm out for a couple days. And so if you respond to the teachers, I'm going to show you how to do that. She's going to see it as well. Okay, so this is your syllabus. And I do recommend that you read through. And if you have any questions whatsoever, let me know. All of the basic details of this course are listed here. Another thing that we have for you is an assignment checklist. And I recommend the syllabus and the checklist. You might want to print it out. I know I kept my checklist at my desk where I could cross things off as I did them. And I'm sure some of you are going to do the same thing because it just works better. For a lot of us, if we're anal, I'm anal about getting things done. So as you can see for Module 1, we have a due date on Thursday for getting your first discussion prompt done, and then Sunday, your response to 2 other people and the reflection for the week. And I'll show you what you need to read and do before that. And then Module 2, as you go through, I think in Module 5, there is no reflection. So, when you look down there, I didn't make a mistake. There just is no reflection for Module 5. And there's a reason. You kind of cover the reflection in the discussion as well. So on the left here, professional connections. It looks like many of you have done this, but as we start working in groups, it's really important that everyone in the group know how to reach everyone else in the group. So if you haven't already done this little form survey here, it then feeds this little spreadsheet down here, and it will give everybody access to email addresses. And so if the group is working on a Google document, these Gmail addresses will be important. Now, some of them look like they're not Gmail, but I happen to know that most of those are districts that are Google districts. And so those addresses are actually Gmail accounts. Is that correct? Anybody that is one of those? Maybe we have some in the group here.
And Julie and
Yes,
.orgs are all Gmail.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
was going to say that. Thanks, Joni.
Thank you. Yeah, it's typical that if a district is a Google district, that their .orgs are actually Google addresses. So, okay. But hey, you don't have to be a Google district or have a Google account to get through this class. We've had whole groups work on collaborative projects using the Office 365 apps as well. So it's not required. It's just that if you're on a team and you're collaborating on a single document, a slideshow maybe, you all have to be either using Google or you have to be using Office 365, one or the other, because that's the only way you're going to get it done. But I don't care, which one you use. I use both. There are advantages to both, so that's just the way it is. So make sure if you haven't already filled out the professional connections, you do that. If you just need basic help with Haiku, this link over here about help, check it out. There's little videos. As we start working, you're going to be using wiki projects, which are a part of Haiku, and it will be helpful if you watch the videos that are there. I might have some of you have already done some of the polls and things. We're not going to use the Dropbox feature at all, so don't even worry about watching that. Okay, so let's look at Module 1. Okay, so, and many of you have already done pretty well here already on this. So module 1 is simply a discussion and a reflection. And when you roll yourself into a new module, there will always be an overview where you see the learning objectives, and then you'll see this open textbook, this icon you see right here, and that will get you into the reading and the videos for the module. So you're going to click and go in there, and it's going to take you out to a Google site where you will find the reading for the module. Now, in this case, for module 1, it's really quite simple. It's just this little overview and these learning objectives, and that's it. In module 2, it gets pretty extensive, and you could see down here, this is actually, this whole thing is module 1. Now that I look at it, I was going to say that's awfully short. So as you go through module 1 here, sorry about that, my error. So you go to page 2, and it will go through, a lot of what I'm talking about right now. So you're probably going to be able to scan through. But here's the rubric for the very first discussion post. So I'm going to be looking at whether you posted directly to the question and responded directly to it, and then that you responded to 2 other people, and your responses explain or provide new perspectives or effectively question or elaborate on the topic. And don't just say, hey, good job. Page 3, as you see here. This is really just restating what's in the syllabus, to be honest, but I do want to make sure you do go through it. Here, there is a video or 2 to look at, which are both really kind of interesting. They're not displaying quickly. There we go. So make sure you do look at these. It will help you give depth to your answers in your reflection and your discussion, if you can refer back to these. And the course overview, here it's going to talk about how you're assessed. You do need to make sure that you are citing properly if you're including information that you didn't come up with yourself. And so it talks to you about how you should be doing that in here. Generally, you can use MLA or APA. Either way is fine with me. Just refers to APA there. So this is your online textbook. And so for module 1, you do have 8 pages to go through. I'm glad to see that. I was thinking, actually, I was wondering where the rest of the content was. But what you need to know, this course is currently being worked on. So I wasn't sure what I was experiencing there. They actually had a meeting yesterday, online meeting about it. I wasn't in that group, but Ema was. So I was wondering, oh, they cut down module 1. So anyway, and so as you go through the textbook up here for the different modules, this is module 2 and module 3. And again, I'm not even in Haiku. I'm on a Google site. So your entire textbook is on this Google site that's linked off of our Haiku site. Does everybody understand that? I hope. Okay, no questions, so I'm going to assume. Okay, I'm going to go back to our page since I've gone so deep into the other. There we go. It's easier to just put the site in brand new rather than, I got to log in. Sorry about that. Things happen. Okay, this looks a little different, I realize, than what you see. Whoops. Okay. Alrighty, so back to module 1. I just want to show you where the rubrics are here. So scrolling down. Okay, so on the far right, on every module, you'll find the rubrics for that module. In this module, there's only 2, one for the discussion and one for the reflection. So there you are. But as we go through the course, you're going to see two or three or even four rubrics depending on what we're doing. But if you address the rubrics fully, you're going to get full credit. And you need to know that every single piece of your class, you need to get full credit and a pass. And so back to our page for this.
Sue?
Yes, go ahead.
What did you click to get to the rubric?
Okay, I'm on a module landing page.
Right.
So here's module 1. Scroll down, and in this case, it's underneath the poll on the right. So right here. So on every module page, on the landing page on the far right, lower far right, you'll find the rubrics for that.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and in addition, on the left, all the module rubrics, if you expand the word rubrics over here, lower left, there they all are there too. I just expanded it down and you can see all of them. Are you guys seeing them? Right
Yes.
here. Okay, and they're all turned on. The red means, for me anyway, from my point of view, I don't think you see those same little red things like I see. So like here's the module 1 rubrics once again. But yeah, it's really important to know where those are. Now, about your grades. Okay, so up at the top of the screen here, whoops, there we go, you'll see the grades drop down. And we don't do attendance, we don't do reports. The only thing you want to worry about is grades. And now I'm going to be able to see all of you, but you'll be able to see just your grades. And so right now, there's nothing in here yet, but what you're going to see is P for pass. That's what each of you are going to want on every single one of these. What happens though is if it doesn't get a pass for some reason, I will, let's say Marina's on the call. So let's say on Marina, I only give half credit. It's only 1 point for the discussion, so I'll give her a 0.5. Marina, this is fake. I'm going to take it out. So, and then, but I never give a half credit or not full credit without commenting. And I'll say, oh, you forgot to respond to 2 others, which happens all the time. People will put in their thing on Thursday and then forget they got to go back in and respond to the others. And so when she goes in, she'll see this little, comment box thing, and she can click that and she'll see what I said. And then she could go in and add those other 2 comments and then shoot me a message using the message tool right here, and then it will be fixed. So I'm going to take this out so Marina is not going to have a negative already on here. I'm going to take out this 2 and there. Okay, so she's back to normal. But that's what you'll see. So if you ever don't get full credit, I will always tell you what you need to fix. And then you just go in and fix it. And then when you're done, you come up here and you send out, you go to your inbox and then send me a message. And so talking about that right now, you just click write and you'll say, oh, 2.1 finished or something like that in the subject line. And you could, if you want to type a little note, you can, but just say, Sue, I finished 2.1, or I responded to 2 people on 2.1, and then you just send that to me. Now you have to add the recipients of your message. Whoops. So let me see here. There we go. Why is that expanding like that? It's doing something weird because I'm online. There we go. Okay, so if you say to everyone, everybody's going to get the message you're sending. If you say all students are going to get it. And then you could get separate people. But from your view, you will have an option for all teachers. And so if you send to all teachers, then both Ema and I will get it. And so that's a quick way to make sure, I don't really anticipate being on any vacation that's going to interrupt this 2-week or 2-month thing. But just in case, if you pick all teachers as a recipient, that will take care of that. So any questions on grades and messaging?
Sue?
Yeah.
If we were to look at the grade book right now, is there some icon that will show that, yes, you have submitted this and it all went through? Because right now, I'll say that I finished it, but it shows that there's nothing been submitted on the gradebook side.
Oh, right, because I have to record a grade. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, it does. So in other words, you've done your discussion and you've done your reflection, but there's nothing there. Is that what you're
Right.
asking? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I don't, just so you all know, I don't grade until the Monday after the Sunday due date. So, I mean, there is an off chance I might have a big gap of time and just sit down and grade early. But yeah, don't worry. If you know, you can go back into, let me go into our pages and show you what I see. So, and I was aware that a bunch of you have already started working, but I didn't want, I didn't want to start commenting because until today. So if I go down to the discussion here and I click, I could see that 25 posts have been made. And I could see the most recent is on the top. And you guys can also see all these as well. So I could see Barbie's post. I love that you guys are really, putting pictures and everything in there. That's wonderful. And so that shows you've submitted for that. For a discussion, that's all you have to do. Now, from my point of view, what I do is if I want to grade Brian here, I go in, I don't read it on this screen. I actually go into this, which you don't have, but I can see his main post and his post to the other people in one screen here, which makes it easier for the teacher. So I could see his main post down here at the bottom in white, and then his post to everybody up here, and I could see he's done. I just have to read it and make sure it went through the rubric properly. I then put the grade up here, and if there's a comment, and then that goes in his grade book. And so that's kind of how that all works on the discussion. Now on the reflection, it's pretty similar actually. So I go down here, I look at the reflections. We have 5 reflections so far, which is really great considering it's the first day of class. And anybody who hasn't done anything, if you're out there, don't worry about it. It's not due till Thursday. So, and actually this part isn't due till Sunday. So all of you could see each other's reflections as well. And so these are the reflections as they are right now. And the same thing, I can actually go in and score them the same way you saw. So as long as you see your things here in discussion and reflections, you could see that it's submitted properly to me. That's all you have to do. And if you don't see anything, don't worry. Monday or Tuesday, I get grading done. If it turns out Monday's crazy, I might not get grading done till Tuesday. But if you're worried about something like, did I do this right? Just shoot me an email. I'll jump in and look. And that happens, that sometimes people just want to know, did I do it right? And they don't want to have to wait, over the whole weekend to find out. So does that kind of answer that question? I hope.
Sure does. Thank you.
Okay. So now on the portfolio activities, let me go in. I'm going to go into next module just to show you. It's not open yet, but I could show you what it looks like here. Okay, so in the next module, it's the same setup. You read the overview, then you go to the textbook for module 2, go through all the pages, videos, reading, etc. And oh, by the way, if you ever encounter a link when you're doing that reading that doesn't work, if you could shoot me an email with that link, or just let me know that the link to such and such on page 2 of the textbook is dead, because that happens occasionally. Somebody will take down a YouTube video that we've been using for a couple of years and we need to find a replacement. And sometimes that happens and I just don't even know it has happened. I try to go through it before we start each one, but obviously not always going to get through the whole thing. Okay, whoop, I just lost, oh boy, where did it go? There it is. Okay, so in Module 2, our activity is that Venn diagram that I showed you in the portfolio, but we start work on it here in Module 2. So there it goes. So when you're ready to start doing an activity, this is actually a wiki project activity, when you get to the time when you're ready to do it, actually I opened the wrong thing there. You're going to click View Projects, and then down here at the bottom, you're going to run into a button when you do it that'll say, like I'm on Marina's here, and you'll run into this button that says Start Wiki Site, and you'll click that, and it will give you your own, basically your own web page with it like Word-like tools, and I'll demo this next week so that it will be built into your module. So when I open the module on Friday, for module 2, you'll also see a video I'm going to post of me showing you how to start a wiki site. I don't want to do it right now, but I'll create a fake student and go in and actually create a wiki site so you guys can see it demoed. But you'll create your wiki site, and then you'll go off and do your Venn diagram, and then you'll embed it on your wiki site, and everybody will be able to look at them. Nobody's done this yet, so, but you'll be able to see everybody's just like I can. You won't be able to see my grades for everybody or anything like that. You'll only be able to see your grades and and the comments that are directed toward you. So that part's private, but you will all be able to see each other's wiki projects. And so we'll start that with module 2. And I'll also show you in the video I'll be posting how to do the embedding, so that the wiki project that you might do, I don't know, you might do it as a Google drawing, or you might do it as a sway. And I'll show you how to get the embed code and get that embedded on your page rather than taking screenshots and things like that, because those are no good, because as soon as you go change that original document out on Google Drawings or Sway, if you've done it as a screenshot, you've got to change it on your website again. We want to make sure that there's a live link between the two, and not just a link, but the actual embedded product right on the page. So that'll make more sense when we actually do it. It's not going to make as much sense right now. So if you don't understand about embedding yet, don't worry about it. So pretty much, I think I've covered all that you need to know here. Make sure if any of you are going to be doing credits that you send me your name that you want a packet sent to you for Fresno Pacific. I don't know the cost of that. And let me look up here on activities. Sometimes, yeah, we don't use the assignment feature or the assessment feature. We do use discussions and wiki projects, and occasionally I do a poll. The poll for module 1 is kind of an interesting one. Let me check that out real quick. I want to see how many of you have responded and where we are here with that. So the poll is right here on the bottom right. So what experience do you have with online teaching? So about 10 of you have done this so far, and 1 person's taught an online class but never taken one. That must have been tricky. Taken an online class but never taught one is the biggest one. So most of you have taken an online class before, and 3 out of 10 have both taught and taken. That's interesting. Anyway, that'll probably get more and more traction as the week goes on. And I guess with that, I think that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the Skype page and take a look at your questions. Okay, can you embed? I see Leilani asking, can we embed a Google document for our reflections? Yes, you can. So if you, I guess I need to show, but did I shut that? Hang on, go back here. So when you do your reflection, you're going to have an open space. Let's see if I can get into one of yours. So Leilani, you don't have one to do, but Megan does. Okay, so up at the top of the screen, when you are working on your reflection, you're going to have a bunch of tools that look like something out of Word or Google Docs, those tools. And you'll want to go to the one that says Source. So I can create a similar box because I can do it with this Add Contact block. So let me show you. So don't worry, you don't need it. Yours is not going to be quite like this. But when you do your reflection, you'll have these kind of tools you see here to work with when you write your reflection. So you could bold and italicize and do all that. But this thing here called the source tool, when you click it, you can then paste the embed code from Google Doc. So is it a Google Doc, Leilani? Or did she leave the conversation? Leilani there? So I'm answering your question. She's not here. Okay. Well, since I'm down this road, let me see here. If I go to Google.
So she actually asked, because I don't think you can see the questions, but we can.
Yeah.
She actually asked, I was asking for the portfolio.
Oh, for the portfolio. Yes, she can. You can. Yes. Okay. Okay. So, okay, let me go back up here. Okay. Full credit. Yeah. So yeah, you can embed on your portfolio, but you can also embed in the reflection space in Haiku as well. And some people do that. Some people have a blogger blog or a blog of some other type, and you can embed those in. So if you're wanting to learn how to do that, just shoot me an email message or a message in Haiku, asking me, telling me what blog or what tool you want to see if you could embed, and then I'll send you the instructions of how to go to get the embed code for that. Will all our online meetings be on Mondays at 4? No. I generally won't do these again unless we have something come up where it sounds like everybody needs to hop on to a joint session and I could show how to do something. That could happen next week as we get started with embedding the Venn diagrams, but probably later in the week, not on Monday. In the meantime, what I'll do is I'll post a video showing you how to do it, but it won't be an online meeting. So this may be our only online meeting until we get ready to do our portfolios. So don't feel like you have to block out 4 o'clock on Mondays. In fact, you don't have to block out any specific time going forward. So is that an answer to that?
That is, because 3 of us have online meetings at 4 o'clock on Mondays about once a
No, don't worry at all. Yeah, this is it. Generally, we don't have an online meeting unless something comes up that a significant number of people are having problems with. And like I said, it could come up late next week as people try to embed their Venn diagrams in Module 2. So if that happens, we'll have a meeting. I may actually, knowing how busy people are with something like that, I may actually do it at like 7:30 in the evening. And then more people probably will be home from, ballpark practices with their kids and everything, so hopefully, I did this one at this time today because I thought today for many of you was a holiday, and it's not for me. Our office is open today, but for many districts it was a holiday. But then for those it wasn't a holiday, at least I knew that school was out by now. So there's a couple people that have emailed me that I knew were going to have problems connecting. So I'm looking, is there anybody, when looking at grades this first week, is there some icon that will show, oh, that we already talked about that.
You already answered that question.
Yeah, so it looks like I've covered everything. If full credit is not initially granted, oh yeah, you can resubmit as many times as you need to. I've got somebody, honestly, who's still working that started the course last July. So, that's unusual, and something happened that kept her from working for several months. That happens, and so she's just come back in. But because she's working outside of the regular group now, it takes her a while to get everything figured out. And so, yeah, it may take 2 or 3 times, but hopefully not. Many of you, the very first try will be perfect. So, okay. Anybody else have a question? Okay. Did you see my question? So that's Joni. So
that one was answered already too.
Okay, thank you, Joni. I'm going back. Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, if anybody has a question, just ask it. Otherwise, in a moment or so, I'm going to shut down and we're going to launch off into our little world together, but online.
Thank you, Sue.
Well, thank you. It's great meeting all of you, and I can't wait to see all the cool things you guys are going to share with me. I really love this class because everything is so creative. It's fun. So, anyway, well,
Thank you. We
th-
appreciate it.
thank you. See you soon. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Bye bye. I'll wait in case anybody has a question, though.
Okay, where's the log out?
Just close all the windows and you'll.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm gonna have to figure that out in a minute too. Oh, I think if you click the red phone, it hangs you up. There we go. Hi, Kim. You just moved into where I could see you. I can't see you, but I can see you're in the meeting. Okay.